Oi, you know what time it is? You're tuned in listening to Dry That Aussie Metal Guy. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his content when it drops. And remember, stay brutal, you mad dogs. Roof.
G'day, how the bloody hell are you all going? It's Dry That Aussie Metal Guy here with Crank.com and with that metalstation.com. So tonight, wherever you are in the world, it's a great pleasure that I'm having a chat with Jeff Irvine and Kyle Brandt from Alight Within, whose recent single recently dropped, and it's an absolute bloody ripper, the Meteoric Fires. I did crank that up on the show as soon as it dropped. Thank you very much for joining me, guys.
Thanks for having us.
No,
Thanks, man.
Absolute pleasure. First one to touch on Kyle, man. It's been a couple of years since we chatted, man. I think it was almost 3 bloody years ago, man. How have things been for you, my friend?
Getting close, staying busy, man. Always busy. If not with, work, being a parent, a husband, but just doing music, man. That's my hobby. I love doing it. So any free time I get is usually going towards writing or mixing or singing or doing something.
Yeah, doing something. That's the key to being busy. So, Jeff, Alight Within kind of come out of COVID, and you kind of, I see through the press releases that you're like, yep, let's get some work going. Tell me a little bit about the whole coming out of COVID and Alight Within kind of re-gearing up again, coming out of hiatus.
Yeah, so pre-COVID, we were working on I think 5 ideas that were pretty much completed, and then 4 good nuggets of ideas that were in the works. And then, everything went to crap, and 3 of those songs survived. And right now we're kind of getting back into the 2 of the other ones that we were working on. Kyle and I'll probably start doing some demos for those, and then working on the demos for the other 4 nuggets that we had.
Nice.
So just trying to get back into it. It's slow because 2 of the guys just had kids, so they have little ones. I mean, real little. So it's taking up a lot of time from us so they can be with their family and such.
Well, that's it. We've all got bloody lives outside of this thing we call music, you know what I mean? And we've got families, and until it pays as a living, we've still got to keep up to date with our day-to-day jobs. We've got a family to look after. We've got all this as well. So it definitely does take a little bit of work to juggle everything as well.
Yep, it sure does.
Kyle, what was the first single? Was it that Terraform that kind of come out was last year? Was that the first single back for you guys?
Yeah, it was more of a demo. We just wanted to generate some buzz. So, and what our original plan was to get we have a small user base that follows us, and really, some dedicated fans, and we wanted to get them involved for an earlier start. So kind of putting out demos and letting them watch the songs grow as they become more solid and tight, and then finally releasing the final version. We did that with Terraform, and we had some inner conflicts in the band that, we didn't, in the end, that idea kind of failed. So Terraform made it through as a demo, but that song will be getting released as an official song, with real drums and real instruments. Here coming up soon. But yeah, that's kind of taking you into how we were gonna do it and how we ended up doing it.
Yeah, well, because as I did see there that you're going to release these as demos and then eventually drop them on an album, kind of generate a bit of buzz, and as you said, for your fans and the dedicated listeners to kind of get a little taste and go on the journey with you as you're creating as well.
Yeah, because Alight Within's we write really organically. It's not your modern day project where there's a lot of file sharing back and forth and everybody's recording and writing at home. This band just hasn't ever worked that way. This is more of everybody gets in the room at the same time and does it the old fashioned way. So it really moves at a snail's pace. And we kind of feel sorry for our fan base in that regards, because they have to wait so long to get new music. So that was kind of our idea, to getting them involved in the demo so they can at least hear something, and it doesn't go by with a couple of years of not, hearing us or anything new. So
yeah, that kind of does really explain the gap in between that epilogue EP and to the Terraform single, because you just couldn't catch up during COVID. It would have really knocked the hell out of the band, considering that's how you create.
Yeah, for a lot of bands, they did fine during COVID because they were still writing at home and recording at home and collectively working through Dropbox and such. But yeah, Alight Within's just never worked that way. Probably won't ever work that way. So Just
Yeah,
gotta roll with it.
Okay, Jeff, can you tell me a little bit about your songwriting process when you're arranging the guitars and everything for this?
Yeah, like Kyle mentioned, a lot of it kind of happens in the room, and
Yeah.
then I take we re-record most practices, so I'll take the practices and then just kind of refine my parts, and then kind of we'll put together kind of a solid idea that we like, and then we'll give it to Kyle, and then he'll kind of stretch the parts out, cut parts, or rearrange them to fit his vocal structure that he's got in his mind. So for us, it's kind of, you know, like Kyle mentioned, organic. We get a rough cut together, and then he kind of finalizes it. But I've been doing a lot of, I guess, part writing recently. So moving forward, it's probably going to be a little bit more of I'm going to present an idea to Kyle, and Kyle and I will work on the idea, and then we'll present it to the guys and say, hey, what do you think? Let's try to get some things going with it. I don't know, just a little different writing style for us, just to kind of keep things moving a little bit more,
Yeah, well,
not fast, but just more forward.
I dare say the last few years would have been pretty, hard on you guys as well, mate. Not being able to get in there and
Yeah.
create that music in the jam space. So looking at other ways that you can create and extend onto the project as well.
Yeah, it's definitely been that was a kick in the face for sure.
Yeah, for everybody.
That's why I started doing a lot of just if I'm sitting at work and something comes to my brain, I'll just kind of grab my phone and record that idea real quick. So I have like a good next cycle of songs ready to start getting work on.
That's come up a bit actually. The last couple of interviews I've spoken to, people have been like, man, I've been recording my bits on my phone, or I've got a little recorder. It's important for people coming up and, emerging artists to grab those ideas while you got them, because you're going to forget them, man. Easy as. I've had that many ideas go in here, and by the afternoon, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? That was a fucking jam. Where did it go?
Yeah, you think you have it and you totally lose it. And it's like, that wasn't anything weird, so yeah.
Yeah, even I was talking to Michael Amott, and he was saying he still does it, and he goes back through and he has all these little bits of songs he gets together and works on as well. So it doesn't matter who the bloody hell you are. It's a smart way of doing it.
Yeah, it just keeps track of everything for sure.
Yeah, and what guitars are you using, mate? I've got to ask.
My main one is a Fender Tele Deluxe, so Mexican made, and I've got a John 5 that I've got a Robot Graves Industry neck on it. So that's going to start making some headway into what we're doing. I think some of the next stuff that we're writing is going to be more of different tunings than because we're usually in drop D. So I want to go into like D standard and then drop C and then move down to A just to kind of, change things up a little bit, get a little more girth to it. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's it. And the latest single, can you tell me a little bit about that one, Meteoric Fires?
Yeah, so that one, like it says in the press release, it kind of wrote itself because it was one of our first songs that we wrote as a 4-piece. We were kind of a 5-piece at the time, but when Josh switched from guitar to bass after our previous bass player left, that was one of the first jams we just kind of started messing around with. And I think pretty much within 2 practices, it was the gist of it was done.
Okay.
And then it didn't get till after COVID that it actually kind of got more complete with Kyle's refinements and such like that.
Yeah, because it would have created a whole new dynamic, I suppose, having that extra guitarist come out and then, one of you moving the bass as well. And
yeah, it definitely, there was for me, especially because I'm always used to having that other guitar player in there. So for me, it was really kind of weird at first, but once we started putting the demo together and Kyle's had a lot of synths and textures with some electronic elements to kind of help fill up the gap. They've kind of melded really nicely in the recording.
Yeah, definitely. Kyle, can you tell me a little bit more about your songwriting process kind of before, as you and Jeff kind of working together, or you're working together and then coming to Jeff with these ideas, or you're both kind of connecting?
Yeah, for Light Within, I kind of just stay out of it until they have until instrumental they have something decent. So I mean, as a singer, I've never really been the type to start a song with vocals first. Sometimes I've done that, for some solo stuff, but not for Light Within. So like Jeff mentioned, they'll usually, get some solid ideas together. They'll do like a little live recording of some jams, and then I'll grab those out of Dropbox and kind of listen to them and really uh, figure out what the song is doing. And then I try and rebuild the song from scratch, in Pro Tools, and just try and get everything, using MIDI stuff, MIDI drums, all that stuff, just to try and to get a better quality scenario to where I can really start feeling it as far as vocally. So when I'm singing, I really just got to feel it. And so I'll usually demo at home first before I show up into the jam space and present a vocal idea. So yeah, after I've had a couple weeks with it, I'll just show up to practice and try and sing through it live and see how it works, and then just keep making adjustments from there. And running through my ideas with the rest of the guys, saying, what do you like about it, what do you not like about it, and stuff like that. And then I also do a little bit of rearranging, because I cut it down a lot because these guys are real post rock influenced, so they'll send me like 16 measures of a riff, and I'm like, man, I can't write that many lyrics, so I'll cut it down in half. And then I'm like, well, we gotta put out some 5-minute songs, or else they'd all be like 10-minute songs. So
yeah, people like me wouldn't mind it, but not everybody would. It'd start getting old pretty bloody quick. Can you tell me a little bit about what that track Meteoric Fires means for you, man?
Me or Jeff?
Both of you, so either one, whoever wants to grab it.
All right, I'll go first, I guess. I mean, lyric wise, it's not too metaphoric. I mean, it's to me, if I was reading the lyrics, I would think, okay, this is a typical relationship type of story where you get a couple people clashing basically, and they can't help but just argue and fight with each other. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Yep. Do you want to add anything in there, Jeff? Were you good?
Yeah, I would just say that for me, that was one of our more upbeat songs that we've ever written, and it really kind of hit really hard. So I was trying to steer away from how I normally would play guitar, but it kind of creeped its way back in there anyway. But I do a lot of fast picking, so I mean tremolo picking, whatever you want to call it, and I was doing that with chords this time, so it was kind of a different scenario for me as far as playing. And then we went from that into like little note picking stuff, which is I was just trying to do something a lot different, but it still felt like us.
Yep. Yeah.
Stylistically, the song is a lot different than anything Alight Within's ever done before. It's definitely more upbeat, and it's got a more of a basic structure to it, the verse chorus breakdown chorus type of thing. So
yeah, and the vocal delivery is unreal. Just the whole track, I really dug listening to that track, man. I cranked it up a few times, man. So congratulations on that one. What's the plans going forward with Alight Within? I know he's got an album on the way. Is it a few more demos, another 3 demos, and then work on getting that album out? Or
I think we're done with the whole demo idea. We're just we just started working straight towards the studio stuff.
Hell yeah.
So I think there was discussion there for a while to who was going to do our studio recordings. I tried to beg the guys to let me do them. Just for a while. I love working with great producers, but they're just really expensive, and I don't have the money. And I'm getting pretty decent at production myself. So I did the Meteoric Fires track, and I think the guys ended up liking it, and I gained some trust with that one. So I'm gonna be doing
Jeff's got the thumbs up there.
I think I'll be doing the ones at least for the near future until we have a different plan. So I've already got the next single done and mastered. We're just kind of waiting for a release date. We're kind of toying with video ideas right now. How do we want to do a video? Do we want to invest money in putting out a sweet video, or is that worth it? And those kind of questions. So, but we're definitely going to get it out here sooner rather than later. I would hope within the next month. But it's done, and then we're going to put out Terraform in its correct form again, and that one's pretty much almost done too. So we just got to tweak some bass parts and send it off to mastering. So, and then after that, we're going to be putting together some of the other ideas that we have in the old Dropbox folders. Nice. And some of them are pretty far done. I mean, And there's some good stuff in there. We just have to tweak some things.
Cool, Jeff. So I'm going to ask, man, what's the plans with playing live? Are you looking to get any live shows out the way now? Everything's open up for you again, or?
That's a good question.
Something to think about, anyway.
I'm the first one that would jump on any show, with everyone's lives being as they are. And Kyle's job is he's going to be traveling a lot, so that's hard too. But if the right show pops up, I'll bug them a lot harder than if it doesn't, you know. But right now, it's just play it by ear and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I would love to play a show. There's a band coming through called Psalm that we really like, but it's a Monday night, and that's just not going to work with our work schedules. And I think Kyle might be out that week. I don't remember, but it just doesn't work. So we just keep moving forward and writing and just recording some stuff.
Yeah. Till then, where's the best place people can get along and support Alight within?
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. I love Bandcamp. I do. I really do. Like, I know Spotify, everyone streams on there, but I have people love me sometimes because I really enjoy platforms like that. They tend to give the most. They still do the Bandcamp Fridays, once a month. And out of all of them, like, I always feel better just buying a digital album even and contributing to the scene. Even though I get all these press releases and albums sent to me, I'm still a music lover. I still love supporting the scene and doing my bit and jumping over to Bandcamp and buying albums where I can. And I think people forget about it or don't even realize that there's a platform like that where you can contribute.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's great for the artists, and my wife hates it, but I still buy CDs all the time.
Same.
I love having the music with the artwork. That's just me because I'm a graphic designer, so for me that's part of it. But
kids, CDs, vinyls, whatever, our kids are going to love us. They're just going to get all this metal merch shoved onto them when we pass away. Here you go, children. Take all my crap. Awesome. Kyle, I do got to mention, man, we did mention just before we jumped on, I said I'd missed your second album there, the You album, and you said it just come out today, and I'm like, cool, I'm cranking it up on Spotify, and you're like, it doesn't come out till tomorrow. I'm like, we're in Australia, we're 15 hours ahead, so we're very lucky. Congratulations on your solo album, man. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, thanks, man. So this second one is not so much solo anymore like the first one. The first one, The Tribunal, was all written by me, basically. It was co-written some parts, but all the ideas were generally stemming from my ideas. On the second one, my good friend Madeline had a bunch of ideas in the song bank, and she kind of reached out and was like, hey, I have these songs. Do you want to work on any of them with me? And I sat on them for a while, and then a couple of the ideas hit me, and I was like, you know what? I can probably bring these to life. So I reached out to her and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I asked, how do you want to market it? And she was all about using the Molitoth brand. She was a guest appearance on the first album anyway, so she was already all over that. Random bass, random guitar, random synth on that one. So the majority of these ideas on You all stem from hers. Nice. But yeah, I've kind of helped to bring them all to life. I've kind of restructured everything, obviously added vocals, a lot of synth to it, did all the production. So I'm really proud of it. And I think she had a lot of really cool ideas that ended up working out really good. So yeah, so this was more, and we got rid of the program drums for this album. I really wanted to do real drums.
Nice.
We have a good friend named Sam that's just an excellent drummer, and he was down to throw down on it. So once we got him involved, it became a 3-piece. And it's a prog rock, prog metal album with just kind of authentic, but it wasn't anything done in the room. Well, drum wise, we sent those off, and he has a nice little recording setup. So we were able to get pretty good quality out of it. I'm proud of it. And yeah, like you said, you have it in Australia right now, it seems. I just checked Spotify and it wasn't available to me yet. So
yeah, so it pays to be an Aussie.
They must release it based on the time zone. So they must. Spotify must release it every time zone it drops, like when it hits midnight or whatever.
Well, that's handy to know because I didn't even know that till today when we were talking, dude. So standout track on there. Oh, well, they're all bloody standout tracks on that You album, but what's your favorite track off of that one, mate? I'm sure it's going to
probably
change.
the very first one, Acolyte.
Acolyte,
It's
yeah, I love an
a
epic.
14-minute epic that just has so many different styles to it. I've never really done a whole lot of metal growling, and I gave it my first chance in that song. I was listening to a lot of Opeth over the past year, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna see if I can do that in a couple sections, and it turned out better than I thought it would. So maybe I'll start doing that a little bit more in the future for the heavier fans. But yeah, it's just a roller coaster of emotions all the way through that song. So that's got to be my favorite.
Yeah, it came out really well. And you can grab that one on Bandcamp as well, besides streaming on all the platforms, people. But can you grab that one on Bandcamp as well?
Yeah, it'll be out on Bandcamp tomorrow.
Awesome.
Well, depending on where you at. Well, actually on Bandcamp, I have to release that one manually.
Yeah, Bandcamp, it goes out through manually.
But yeah, I'll be releasing that. I might just go do it right now. But really, if you want to support me, I don't give a shit about the money. If you want to support Alight Within or Molitoth, anything that we're doing, just spread the word, man. Just give it a like, give it a follow, and just maybe post it on your social and say, hey, check out this band, because self-promotion sucks. It's pretentious, and I'm too humble for it. I hate doing it. So if other people can go promote my music, I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, isn't it? Self-promotion, and fucking I'm horrible at it too, even for my radio stuff. It's just...
Some people are really good at it. They're like, check out my band, man, we're fucking awesome, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I can't do it.
I'm on the radio. Listen, if you can be fucked, if not, it's all good.
I'm like, well, if you like prog rock or if you like prog metal, then maybe you like what I'm doing. And it's like, I'm like, gosh, I suck at this.
Yeah, it's like that. Dude, I actually love the Molitoth stuff and Alight Within. It was an absolute pleasure to catch up with you again, Kyle. And it was good to meet you, Jeff. Guys, we're going to sign out, but do you have any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you two would like to add in there before we do?
Hit it, Kyle.
No, just thanks everybody for your ears and your time. If you take the time to check any of our stuff out, I know with today's technology, you're getting force fed and just shoved all kinds of entertainment in your face, and it's really hard to grab your attention. So if even if you check out one song, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks to Curtis and the team at C Squared for doing some PR for us. And that's about it. And thanks, Jai, for having us on, obviously.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Absolute pleasure. Jeff, Kyle, thank you very much. You take it easy, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Hit us
Cheers,
up
mate.
anytime.
Cheers. Don't worry.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai, that Aussie metal guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.